Hello, welcome back to another episode of A Spiritual Ascension, my 5-year journey. When I left off, I was saying that I left the hotel, that area I had been in for a couple days, where my son had passed away nearby, and ended up going, I don't know, I'm going to say it's about 10 miles away, um, to actually landing in the town where I had lived for 10 years and where I had brought up my children. And it's kind of weird that I wasn't even looking to go there. It's just, I was trying to find the cheapest hotel that I could find, and it just happened to be there. So I took an Uber to the hotel, and again, just wanted to relax. And kind of when I thought about it, I'm like, starting to see this pattern. And that's why we say look for the patterns, look for the signs of all these places I was going to. It was kind of like revisiting places that meant something to me. Um, and as I was leaving, starting to now leave this past life, right? Because I'm having two lives within one lifetime, starting to leave this past life, knowing that I was never going to go back to these situations, like understanding that these situations, these people, these places no longer were going to mean anything to me going forward. Um, so it was like saying goodbye, landing in the same town. Um, so this is now Tuesday night, slept there and got up Wednesday morning. And there was a mall nearby, but it would have been difficult to get to with the highways the way they were. And I'm trying to think, okay, where can I go? Where can I go? Um, Starting to run short on money again because I had just spent the money that I had got from the readings and from what my ex had given me, on the hotels, and then on food, and then on the Ubers, I guess. I think I went to Dunkin' Donuts that morning after checking out. And then I saw that the library was nearby. So I walked to the library and um, ended up staying there. I think they didn't close till maybe 7 o'clock that night. So I ended up like just staying. It was a huge um, library. So I was able to stay there like all day. Um, just not knowing, you get to the point where you kind of get so frustrated because like I don't know what I'm supposed to do or where I'm supposed to go. And this is where you're building up your intuition. You're learning to lean on your intuition to get information from the divine on where should I go, what's my path, what direction should I take. Um, uh, so around 7 o'clock, I now have to leave and I have no money. I don't want to ask my friend for any more money. Don't want to have to go back to my ex. I think he had done enough. And I'm at the point where I don't know what to do. I was hungry. So when I left at 7 o'clock, when the library closed, I went across to a McDonald's over there. And I think I got just like a hamburger or something like that. I didn't want to use, I didn't have a lot of money left, maybe like $10 or so. And sitting there for a while, And then all of a sudden, like I say, you get intuitive hits, and something made me think, wait a minute, the train is nearby, and the train would take me into New York City. Now, I when I started out, I had no intention on going to New York City. When I left that house back on April 30th, my intention was not on thinking that I was going to end up back in New York City, even though I had been trying for so long to get back there. But all of a sudden, I'm sitting in McDonald's and I'm like, oh my goodness, like the train station is a couple blocks from here. Um, and I can go back, and that's where my friend also lived in Brooklyn in the city. So when I looked up how much the ticket was, I had just enough to cover the ticket from where I was and into Manhattan. So I looked to see the schedule when the next train would be, and I like booked it to the train station. It was not just a couple blocks, it was probably like a half an hour walk. And I walked there and I stayed, had to wait for a little bit. And the train came, now it's probably almost 9 o'clock, and took the train into the city. And I'm like, I can't believe this. Like that was the universe the whole time was trying to get me from point A to point B, but I didn't know where I was supposed to go. Um, and trying to navigate. And I was there. I've done several or mentioned in several videos about spiritual navigation, and this is what helps you to build up your intuition to understand where the universe is trying to point on. How do I say that? Is trying to get you to go on your path, because I didn't know where. I walked out of that house. It had now been a week and a half. And I walked out of the house a week and a half ago, and I just went out, did not know where, what, anything. And by using spiritual navigation, was able to find my way, even though it probably took me longer than necessary. Um, and I got on the train and went into Manhattan. Um, when I called my friend and told him, I said, I'm on my way into the city. And he said, oh, okay. He says, I'll send you a little money to, he says, well, do you need? And I said, you know what? I said, there's this feeling like I'm supposed to be outside today, like tonight. I had already been outside 2 nights, that very first night. And then that second night that I was in between the sod grass. And there was this feeling like I was supposed to be outside again. I don't know what that was, but there was just this feeling. So I said, don't worry about hotel or anything. Like after going through it 2 times, and I knew New York City pretty well, I had no fear. Like you always knew that I was going to be protected. Um, I said, this shouldn't be a problem for me. He had sent me like a little bit, I don't know, $25. And when I got into the city by 10 o'clock, I found a little coffee shop or something like that. I was just going to get, um, or was that the next morning? No, I think that was that night. But then the guy said that they were closed, he was getting ready to close up. So I couldn't, I thought it was open like 24 hours or something. And I was like, okay. So I then had to leave there. But actually, I need to back up and kind of start over again. But I'll tell you more about landing in New York City in the one. My voice, I'm sorry, I'll lose my voice a little bit, and let you know what happened when I did land in New York City. Okay, so thank you so much for being here and listening, and I'll see you in the next one.